Good morning to everyone. How are you guys doing? Good morning, guys. W's in the chat, right? W's in the chat. Let me see your W's in the chat if you're active. Let me see your W's in the chat if you are active. Are you guys able to get me? Let me see your W's in the chat. Who's ready? Today it's actually a Tuesday and it's the last day of March. I'm excited to start a new month. I'm excited to end the choppy market of March, right? March has been a bit of a choppy market, right? So let me see your fire emojis if you guys are actually active and ready to start the day. If you're ready to start March as April as well, let me just see your fire emojis. Like the live. Let's like the live. Let's like the live. Let's like the live. I can see Mr. Kayombo. I can see Mr. Andrew. I can see Mapalo Mukundola. Good morning to everyone. I can also see Mashekwa. Let me see your fire emojis. Let's get it burning, right? So what's going to determine this live, if you guys don't know, it's how active you guys are. So if you guys are active in the comment section and if you're active on the live, I'm actually going to spill out a lot of beans, right? A lot of I wouldn't say secret, but I'm going to talk about a lot that's actually going to benefit you guys. So let me see your energy. Let me see your energy in the comment section. Let me see your energy in the comment section, right? Let me see your energy in the comment section. Let me see your energy in the comment section. Let me see your energy in the comment section. I'm only seeing two people that are engaged. I'm only seeing two people right now. Is it that we're only having two people that are active, guys? Is it that we're only having two people that are active? W's in the chat. W's in the chat. I want to see each and everyone active. I want to see your energy in the comment section, right? I can see Mapalo is actually active. Shout out to Mapalo, right? Shout out to Mr. Kayombo as well. Shout out to Lamek as well. Shout out to you guys. You know, it's always an amazing time when we get to interact like this, right? So always make sure that you guys are active. Make sure that you're bringing on the super positive energy, right? Make sure you're bringing in the super energy. What we also look forward to interact with people like this, having live sessions, if possible, live tradings and all that. It's actually a very, very important thing to do, right? It's a very, very important thing to do. So whenever we get to do such a thing, it's a very, very good thing, right? So I want to see new people. I don't want to see the same faces. I want to see new people. We're actually 22 right now. We're actually 22 right now. We're actually 22 on this live right now. So let me see everyone. Everyone. Comment where you're joining from. Comment where you're joining from, and don't forget to add a fire emoji. Comment where you're joining from, and don't forget to add a fire emoji, right? Comment where you're joining from, and don't forget to add a fire emoji. Comment where you're joining from, so I can see Lamek from Kawe, Mapalo from Kamala South. I can see Mashekwa from Lusaka West. Are these the only people that we're currently having on this live? Are these the only people that we're having on the live? Do you have anyone from the Copper Belt? Do you have anyone from the Copper Belt? Do I have my people from the Copper Belt on this live? All I'm seeing is Lusaka. Am I having my Copper Belt people on this live? So very strong way. That's Charles Chinjelani from Rhodes Park, Melody from Kitwe. So I'm starting to see my Copper Belt people now. I'm beginning to see my Copper Belt people now. So Mwatamela from Quito as well. Shout out to Copper Belt. Andrew from Quito as well. Shout out to Copper Belt, right? I'm not seeing anyone from Chingola and Ndola. I'm not seeing Ndola and Chingola here. I can see Madam Dina from Kitwe as well. Shout out to Kitwe. Mr. Kayombo says they are mining copper. They're not joining us because they're in the mines. My people are not going to disappoint me. Let me see the Copper Belt people on the live. Drop the fire emojis. Drop where you're watching this live from. So it's gonna be an amazing live, right? Yesterday we had an hour duration of the live that we had, of which I said today we're going to finish up and just identify some good opportunities, right? So today is the 30th of March. Obviously, it's the last day of March. I'm excited to start a new beginning of a new month, which is tomorrow, right? March has actually been a choppy market. If all of you have noticed, March has actually been very choppy, right? So I'm excited. We might just end the choppy market and see some proper market structure coming in the month of April. So opportunity for us to actually take an opportunity in the market, money from the market, right? Today, the 31st, not the 31st, right? So yeah, today is the 31st of March, and we're about to end this month. Just confirm with me if you guys are able to see my screen. Confirm if you guys are able to hear me. See quality. So before we can begin, right, just confirm with me how the audio is and as well as how how the video quality is, right? Because on my end, everything is just perfect, right? So I need to get feedback and I need to get feedback from you guys. So just confirm with me. Someone saying your sound is poor. So let me just try to fix my sound. Okay, so just confirm with me how everything is right now. If you guys are getting a proper quality, if you guys are getting a proper audio. Yeah, network, this area is really bad, right? So I'm trying my level best to like be at the proper spot. I'm trying the best to be at the proper spot, right? How's the audio now? How's the video quality? Kindly confirm with me in the comment section. Because we cannot go further if we're having bad audio, right? And as well as bad quality, because I'll be sharing my screen. So that means you guys are supposed to see my screen. So if you guys are not able to see my screen, that means it's not gonna be a productive live. So confirm with me if you guys are able to see my screen and what's currently on my screen. So someone says everything is good. So Mapalo says everything is good now. So confirm with me what you guys are able to see or what I'm currently sharing on my screen right now. Just confirm with me what you guys are seeing. Confirm with me what you guys are seeing. I'm actually sharing the chat, so confirm with me what you guys are seeing. Quickly, guys, quickly we get to jump in. So this is 9:30, right? This is 9 what? This is 9:46. So London session has already opened. So we need to make this live quick and very productive so that we don't get to miss out. So as you all know, before we can actually jump on what I have for you guys today, before I can actually jump on what I actually have for you today, you know that I actually you know for the fact that what determines a good trader, it's the platform that they are using, right? A good broker determines a good trader. I mean, if you are trading with a bad platform or a bad broker, obviously it's going to determine how you trade. That means if you're having wide spreads, no no instant market execution, and all those challenges that other brokers do actually have. Where for me, a long time ago, before I actually joined my platform, right, I was actually having problems with deposits. Withdrawals, you may withdraw right now, but it may take a day or two just for you to receive your withdrawals. But looking at the platform that we're currently using right now, which is Exness, they have actually improved in withdrawals, market executions, and as well as to make sure that every trader is having a better trading condition. That means you can now deposit with mobile money. You can use Airtel, you can use MTN, and you can use as well as crypto. So it's been a while since I actually used card to actually deposit or withdraw, right? It's been a while. my card just sits dormant. I only use it for personal reasons, right? Only if I'm doing transfer and trying to make payments here and there, but I don't use my card when it comes to deposit and withdrawals. So what has really helped me with this platform is their instant market deposits and their flexibility, where they introduced mobile money, right? So they introduced mobile money. Um they introduced mobile money, which has made things very easy, especially for traders that don't really have access to bank accounts and so on, right? So they've made it easy. I highly recommend for you guys to deposit with mobile money. Don't use bank, because especially FNB, right? FNB in Z. I don't know about other countries, but FNB in Z no longer allows a forex deposits and withdrawals. You get, it's gonna be an issue for you to have a smooth withdrawal and deposit, and as well as to test the smoothness of the platform. Make sure you're using mobile money. If mobile money is down, make sure you're using Binance or crypto, USDT. It's much easier. I prefer you doing this on every platform. But if you're trying to use any platform aside from Exness, that means if you're using World Trade, if you're using other brokers, right? Make sure you're using, or make yourself get familiar with using USDT and crypto withdrawals. You never go wrong, or you never have a challenge. So this is one thing that has really helped me with trading, right? And this is one thing that I really love about Exness. It's the withdrawals and deposit for mobile money. People can also use the Airtel Global Card on the app. Yeah, I've seen one person use it, but I don't normally use it. I can just do something quick, just mobile money and that. But if you have tried it and if it's working perfectly, I mean, we can all try it, right? We can all try it. The other thing is that when it comes to Exness, right? There's tight spreads, especially for me who's now trading gold and BTC, because these two, and silver as well, these three assets carry a lot of volatility in the market. We all know how silver is volatile. We all know how gold is volatile, right? We might say BTC is not that volatile, but gold and silver are quite volatile. You understand, right? So you have to make sure that you are using the right platform that doesn't only care about themselves, but also care about you as a trader. That means tight spreads and instant market execution. No one wants to enter a trade. When you place buy, it's gonna take a minute or two seconds for it to actually be in, right? So everyone wants to use a proper platform that's allowing instant market executions. So aside from that, if you don't have an Exness account yet, make sure you create one. Make sure you click you create one. All you need to do is go to register and make sure you're using the right. Make sure you're using the right account, right? Exness has got different account types. There's standard, there's micro, there's raw, and there's pro. So the best, if you don't want to have any swaps or spreads, make sure you go for the standard one. Make sure you do what? Make sure you go for the standard one. So that's got the standard account, professional account, and also demo trading account. And if we look at the conditions, deposit and withdrawals are quite instant. And that's got client protection. That means it protects you as a trader as well. And yeah, we all know about this. So aside from that, let's quickly jump into the market. Aside from that, let's quickly jump into the market. Do you use the zero spread account? Someone is asking to say, do you use the zero spread account? I don't use the zero spread, but I do use the pro account. I do use the pro account which is this one here. I do use the pro account. I'm not really interested. I've tried it, but I don't normally use it. So I only go for the pro account. I feel like the pro account is good, right? It's also good, but for the pro account, you find that the minimum deposit is actually $200, and for pros accounts, actually the minimum is $200. It's actually $200, right? And the best that I could recommend for you guys is what is a standard account. So on a standard account, you get the lowest spread. You get the lowest spread. You get the lowest spread, right? So the minimum is actually $10. That's the minimum, but that they don't guarantee you that that's the minimum. The minimum, you're going to have some unrealistic goals on it, right? So that's just the minimum that you can deposit. That's the minimum that you can deposit onto your Exxon's account. So I don't really recommend you starting with a $10 account. Like I always say, I'll always and will always preach about this, right? I don't actually recommend people trading with a $10. Remove that mindset of starting or depositing $10 and having a mindset of flipping it to $1,000. It's possible. Don't get me wrong. It's possible, but it's just stressful. Let's just remove that mindset and have realistic goals, right? Realistic goals that we can apply good risk management and so on. So lastly, so the list that I could recommend, the minimumist, right? If that word even exists, it's 30 or 50 should be your minimum. 30 or 50 and above. That's what I recommend, right? That's what I recommend. But anything above 50 is actually a good start. And to be on the good side, 100 and above is actually the best thing to start with, right? But it all breaks down to you planning your funding. It all breaks down to you actually planning your funding, right? Someone is saying, what about a 20? I don't recommend small account. For me, what I consider to be a small account is $100. I can't trade anything below $100, right? That's just for me. If I'm having $100, it's better I save up. I look for another 100 to make it a 200. That will be better because it's better I just withdraw the 100 and just, or anything less than 100. It's better I just withdraw and buy Hungry Lion or buy myself a shawarma. So it's everything breaks down to you planning your funding, of which we'll talk about it in the live, right? We'll talk about that in the live. So now someone says, I just passed. Okay. All right. All right. So what are we looking at today? So what are we looking at today? So let's start by looking at gold, right? Everyone now is interested in trading gold. So why not just start with it? Why not just start with gold? So we have our Asian high and Asian low around this area here. And what's currently happening right now is that we are now in the London session. We're now in London session, right? We're now in London session. We can see that earlier in the Asian session, we had a very good buy, and then the market started pushing to the downside. So earlier in the Asian session, we had a very good buy. So we have the blue, which is Asian. We have the second, the green one, which is London, and we have the gray one, which is New York, session. So now All right. So now, before we can actually jump into what the market analysis and everything, let's check out the fundamentals that we're having today. Let's check out the fundamentals that we're having today. So for all those that don't know, the fundamental website that we use, all you need to do is just search for Forex Factory. And this is the website that we normally use to check for, that I use. There are quite multiple websites that you can use to actually search for fundamentals, right? But for me, I just use Forex Factory because I just see it to be very simple and straightforward. So when it's your first time using Forex Factory, all you need to do is filter up the unnecessary fundamentals, because I don't focus on all the fundamentals, right? So I focus on specific fundamentals that are actually high impact and medium impact, because I know that these fundamentals are going to do what to move the market. So what I do is that I just go on filter. I'm going to remove the gray one, which simply means no impact, and the yellow one, which means low impact. So we're only interested in the medium impact and the high impact. So I'm going to apply filter. So today it's a Tuesday. Let's see if this all week we are having any fundamental. So today it's a Tuesday, 11 a.m. We're having medium impact of euro. So I'm mostly focused on the high impact. So 2:30 today p.m. we're having card fundamentals. 4 p.m. today we're having US fundamentals. Wednesday as well. So starting from this all week we have high impact, and especially starting from Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Friday it's non-farm payroll, right? Which is NFP. So we also need to keep that in mind, that on Friday we're having NFP. So you need to be very cautious when it comes to your trading. So let's get back to the charts. So before I can actually analyze, what do you guys think about gold? What do you guys think about gold? Who's selling and who's buying right now? Or who's looking for selling opportunities and buying opportunities? Who's buying or looking for buying opportunities or selling opportunities? So I'm only seeing Mapalo. Mapalo is the only one who's active, right? I think Mapalo needs a one-on-one class. I think I need to send you the course. You need to be part of my mentorship. All right, so when we look at gold, right? What helps me mostly before I can actually do anything is the change in market percentage, right? This side here. What helps me mostly before I get to analyze the market is the percentage change around this side here. So if it's showing green, that means a lot of people around the globe are actually looking for buying opportunities. And if it's red, let's say for instance this is red, right? That means we have got a high probability of people that are actually shorting this pair or looking for selling opportunities. So right now we can see that the percentage is actually 1%, right? We're actually in green. So that means we've got a lot of people that are looking for buying opportunities. That means we've got a lot of people that are looking for what? For buying opportunities. So let's start with the lower time frame. Just let's start with the 1 hour time frame. Let's look at the market structure. Let's look at the market structure. So when we look at the market structure, we can see that gold has been, we have this breakout structure here. And we have what? Another breakout structure here. So this is just to tell us that we are in an uptrend. So if the market is breaking structure towards the upside, simply means that we are what? We are in a clear buy or clear uptrend. We are looking for buying opportunities. If the market continues to create higher highs above the previous high, that just shows that we're looking to do what? We're looking for buying opportunities, and the market is most likely to push to the upside. So now, what am I going to do? I'm going to identify my current low and current high, which is this area here, and previous high, which is this point, which has been taken out. So yesterday I explained a lot about the fib that we're going to be using, right? So looking at the fib that we're going to be using, we're going to be stretching from a protected low to a protected high. So this means that we are currently trading in between this 1 hour time frame high and 1 hour time frame low. So if the market was to break above here, this simply means that the market is looking, or buyers are looking to push what? To push the market to the upside. And if the market was to break below, that means the market is simply doing what? Simply looking to push to a lower time, to a lower support and the like. So this is your resistance, this is your support as at now. So I'm going to bring in my fib and just stretch it to that area here. So this zone here is known as a buy zone. The zone is actually known as what? A buy zone. So this area here, it's an area that I actually look for buy zone, which is the 0.71 and 0.79. So I'm likely to, what I'm anticipating for gold right now is that I might be looking for buying opportunities, right? Looking at the structure that I've actually highlighted, right? And the percentage that I've actually talked about. So we can see that we are the high, low, and the new high. So the market needs to create a low before pushing what? Before pushing to the upside. So I'll be looking for buying opportunities around this area here. So we're going to name this what? Buy zone. Let me just save this as well. So we're going to name this. We're going to name this buy zone. So we're always going to keep it simple, and we're always going to try not to complicate ourselves. We're going to do what? We're going to keep it as simple as possible. We're going to flow with the market structure. We're not going to be going against the market structure. We're going to flow with the market structure. So looking at the market structure right now, we can see that the market created a new high above this high. We've got a beautiful candle that closed above. We've got a beautiful candle, this momentum candle that closed above this high. So this qualifies to be a breakout structure. So someone is asking, what time frame is this? This is the 1 hour time frame. This is the 1 hour time frame. This is the 1 hour time frame. So looking at the current structure that we're having, in order for the markets to push higher, we need to do what? We need to test this area before we can push to the upside. This is the only area that I'll be looking for buying opportunities right now. So if the market was to come to this area here, I'll be looking for what? I'll be looking for buying opportunities. So we're not going to rush. We're not going to rush into making entries or rush into going against the structure, right? For me, I trade market structure. So it's very important that I stick to market structure and trade according to market structure. So we're looking for something like this. We have a break of structure here. So we're swinging from a swing low to a swing high. I'm looking for something like this. I want the market to come back into. I'll be looking for buying opportunities around this area here. This is my zone. This is my zone. I'll be looking for buying opportunities around this zone. So once the market gets to this area, I'm going to wait and I'm going to wait for what? I'm going to wait for candlestick confirmations, and obviously we'll be taking my entries based on confirmation. So this zone doesn't mean this is a holy grail, right? It doesn't mean that immediately the market touches this point, you need to buy. You understand? Because in most cases, the market might touch that point and buy, but in most cases, it's very important for you as a trader to actually apply risk management and know exactly why you entered that trade. So aside from you having market structure, having a Fibonacci showing you where to buy from, you need to also understand that there's a third confirmation which is supposed to be candlestick confirmation. Very important. Very important. And minus you understanding how to analyze, how to interpret candlestick, how to interpret candlestick reversals, it's going to be very difficult for you to be profitable long term, because your entries are not precisely based on the Fibonacci, but they are based on candlesticks. That's what's going to show you that the market has reversed. It's good to enter. The momentum is kicking in. That's what's going to show you. So this is on the 1 hour time frame. Let's try to look at what we're having on 30 minutes. So this is on the 30 minutes time frame, right? So if we look at the 30 minutes, the market is currently ranging in between that high and this low. It's currently in a box. So I've got a high candle there and a low candle here. So basically the market is just ranging around this region here. The market is simply just doing ranging around this region. The market is still around this region. We haven't seen any volume kicking out this region. That means I'm still stuck to seeing gold drop. I'm still looking forward to see gold drop to my point of interest. I'm still interested to see gold drop into my point of what? My point of interest. I'm not going to be looking for selling opportunities, not until the market does what? Not until the market takes out this low here. So as long as the market is maintaining this low, I'll still be looking for what? For buying opportunities. The only time that I will be looking for selling opportunities is when the market kicks below or breaks below this area here. So on gold, today I'm going to play around the 1 hour time frame, 30 minutes, and as well as the 15 minutes time frame. So for gold, today I'm going to play around the 1 hour, 30 minutes, and 15 minutes. So 1 hour, we already have the market direction. For the 1 hour, it's showing us 1 hour is showing us structure, right? 30 minutes is also showing us good structure. I might execute on the 30 minutes, or rather drop down to a lower time frame just to get good candlestick confirmation from the 30 minutes time frame. So One thing about making entries, one thing about getting confirmation is that you don't have to stick to one time frame. One thing about using or trading a setup is that you don't need to stick to one time frame. You need also other lower time frames for market candlestick confirmations, right? Your entries, like I said, your entries are based on candlestick confirmations. So how many are actually having a funded account right now? How many are having funded accounts right now? How many are having funded accounts? How many of you guys are having a funded account? The dollar has actually dropped. I don't know if you guys know, but the dollar has actually dropped. Take this opportunity to fund your account. Those that have never tested a real account before, make sure you test a real account. Don't stay on a demo for too long. Don't stay on a demo account for too long. You understand, right? Don't stay on a demo account too long. Take this opportunity because trust me, the dollar is not going to stay where it is right now for a long period of time. We all know the reason why the dollar is currently where it is right now. We all know why the dollar is currently where it is right now. So someone is saying, Joshua, so you don't use buy limits in such cases? No, I don't use buy limits. Buy limits, it's a point where if the market reaches this point, it automatically gets you in without a confirmation, right? So I'm a trader that's built on confirmation, so I don't use buy limits. I'm better off just waiting for the market, patiently waiting for the market to tap the zone. After tapping the zone, I'm not going to enter the market right there and then. I want to look for candlestick confirmation. So I don't use limits, whether sell limits or buy limits. I don't do that. That's for me. I don't prefer using that. Other people do that, but personally, I don't prefer myself doing buy limits or sell limits. Although you guys are free to do that as well. You don't have to stick to what I do. You don't have to stick to what I do. You don't have to stick to what I do. So what was I saying? Yeah. So we all know the reason why the dollar is at where it is, right? So this is your time to plan your funding, test your funding. A lot of people, I remember the most common question that people ask in my comment section is, how do you do about psychology, or how do you manage to hold a trade? How do you manage? So all that falls under psychology, right? All that falls under psychology. So the best teacher to teach you psychology is the market. And trust me, you're not going to learn psychology, or you're not going to train your psychology on a demo account. It's not possible, because that's not your money. You get a lot of people get to ask themselves to say, why am I good on a demo account, but when it comes to a real account, it's actually very different. It's simple. The answer is, that's not your real money. And psychologically, when you're trading a demo account, you know for the fact that it's not your money, it's a demo account. That means you're okay to enter any lot size that you want, any account size that you want, right? So psychologically, you are not affected. You are not emotionally attached to that account. But when it comes to a real account, that's where now emotions are involved. You can't do what you were doing on a demo account. So if you're entering one lot on a demo account, it's gonna be difficult for you to do that same thing that you're doing on a real account. And it's very simple. It's easy. So don't dwell too much on a demo account. If you get a chance to test a live account, test it, because that's what's going to teach you the best, which is psychology. I cannot teach you psychology, but I can show you how I apply my psychology on my accounts. Remember, how I apply my psychology might be different to how you on how you are going to apply your risk money, your psychology. Because one thing that you have to know is that we have got different sources of where we get our monies from. You understand, right? So others fund their last money and they're highly, of which I don't recommend, they're highly attached to their accounts. So what leverage? Someone is asking to say which leverage is the best on a standard account. So I actually recommend 1:500. Personally, that's what I can recommend. But yeah. So like I was saying, when you're analyzing the market, let's say the way I've analyzed starting from the 1 hour time frame. The way I've analyzed starting from the 1 hour time frame, I need to pick out 3 time frames as my confirmation time frames, right? So one, let's say the way I'm using I'm using the 1 hour time frame, which is the higher time frame, and this time frame I'm using it for what? For market structure. And this time frame I'm using it for what? For market structure. Let me call it MS for market structure. I'm supposed to have a mid time frame, which is the 30 minutes time frame. And I also have the third, which is the 15 minutes time frame. So I can use the 1 hour time frame. In my case, I'm using the 1 hour time frame, right? We stayed from the 1 hour time frame. So I also need to drop down to a lower time frame, which is the lower time frame from 1 hour is actually 30 minutes, right? So 30 minutes has to confirm with what I'm looking for at 1 hour, or what the 1 hour time frame is saying. You understand, right? So I can use the 1 hour time frame, sorry, the 30 minutes time frame. What am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is that there were 30 minutes supposed to confirm with the 1 hour time frame structure, bias, or market direction. I can also use the 30 minutes for market entries. And if I need more confirmations on candlestick entries, I can do what? I can drop to a lower time frame, which is the 15 minutes time frame. Why am I so stuck with the 30 minutes? I don't know why I'm so stuck with the 30 minutes, but yeah. Someone is saying, is 300 ZAR okay to trade gold? So, looking at the current market conditions, we know for a fact that we've got war that's actually happening, right? We've got war that's actually happening, and gold is actually becoming expensive. So, you find that gold is actually giving a small move, is actually giving you big pips, right? A lot of pips. So, on your own understanding, do you think a 300 rands or anything that's less than, let's say, anything that's less than 1,000 rands, it's going to be comfortable for you to trade in gold? Even a $10 account is not enough for you to trade gold currently, because gold is becoming expensive and becoming highly volatile. A small move is simply giving you 100 pips, just a minimum move. And that minimum move, you can even find that the 5 minutes time frame can even give you 100 pips, 500 pips, and so on. So this is the 5 minutes time frame, right? I don't normally play around the 5 minutes because I'm just not comfortable dropping down to a lower time, to 5 minutes time frame. But it's also a good time frame right now to actually scalp on. So Chenjelani is saying 300 sat. Hey, 300 wouldn't be a good idea. Even 1,000 rands is risky because drawdown would be like 500 or so. Yeah, you get trading gold, because this asset is actually volatile. So you need to also understand to say what I'm trying to trade is a volatile asset. that means my account can easily be swept out if I'm wrong. Or a small move currently can actually sweep out your account, your $10, your $20, if you're trying to trade gold right now without a proper entry. Without a proper entry. So someone is saying, hey, you look for bullish engulfing or pin bars candlestick at that zone. Yeah, I look for reversal candlesticks. Pin bar, bullish, I look for that, right? So I want to see the market. I normally look for market rejection. Okay. So as a trader, understanding candlesticks means a lot at a point where you need to understand when the market is rejecting and preparing to push to the other side or reversing. You need to understand that, and you need to be able to interpret that. So on gold, this is my setup that I'm actually waiting for, right? I'm waiting for the market to actually come into my point of interest. What are we having on BTC right now? So when I open BTC, let's see, start from the 1 hour time frame. BTC, we had the sweep below here. BTC, we had a sweep below here. So what a sweep simply means is that there are a lot of orders that were around this particular point. This is what most people say as manipulation, right? This is what a lot of people call as manipulation, but that's just a sweep. The market swept simply because we had a lot of orders around that area. So what's going to happen? The market makers are going to smash the retail traders. They're going to smash us, right? They're going to smash us by hitting our stop losses, taking us out. And after taking us out, you can see how the market did what? Push to the upside, creating what? Creating a break of structure here. So after breaking structure here, what happened? We can see that the market created a new high around that area, and then pushed to the downside, and then came back and created a wick around this area here. So this is not a break of structure yet, because the market has not closed above this area here. This is not a break of structure. This is what? A sweep. So I'm just going to put 3x there. So this is another sweep. So if you can see what happened lower here, the market swept liquidity at this low. What happened by the push to the upside? Same thing happening on this point here. We had what? The market sweeping liquidity around this area, a strong rejection, and hence that's why we are seeing that. We're seeing that sell dropping down. So let's move to a lower time frame. What are we having on the lower time frame? What we're having on a lower time frame right now is if we use that and that, this seems to be really low for buying opportunity, but we're just going to highlight it for now. So from this low to that high, this is what we're having, right? I'm just going to leave this here for now. Let's drop down to a lower time frame. So even lower time frames are actually showing that this is actually a sweep and not a break of structure. This is on the 15 minutes time frame. What do you guys think about BTC on the what do you guys think about BTC? Let me see your thoughts about BTC. What do you guys think about BTC? So what do you guys think about BTC? For me, on my end, I would still want to see BTC push a bit lower. So I've got my first buy zone, which is around this area, and I have my second buy zone. So if BTC could come back to this area as well, I might just look for buying opportunities, right? And let's say if this area gets violated, I might just look for last buying opportunities around that area. So because of this break of structure here, this gives us that anything below this, when price breaks below this point, that's when we're going to be looking for selling opportunities. So around this area here, for me, I consider it as a buy area, right? So anything when the market is playing around this area here, I might just looking for buying opportunities. So Mapalo says looking for selling opportunities. Matamela says bullish. Mr. Kayambo says buying. Chenjelani says buys on 15 minutes. And Mashak, oh my God. Mashekwamulonda says it's buying. Lamek is saying looking for buys. So BTC, like today's market just needs observation, right? So a second buy zone here. Well, a second buy zone there. So today's market just needs patience and not rushing. But like I said, March has actually been a choppy market, right? Especially with currency pairs, especially with currency pairs because of the current war that's currently happening between the US and the Iran. You get, so it's affecting the market. It's affecting the market. So BTC, I'll be looking for buys around that area and also major buys around this area. So I've got this point to look out for, and I also have that point to look out for as well. I'll also be taking questions from you guys. You guys are not having any questions for me. This is 10:30 already, right? So we might just end. If we're not going to spot out any entry, we might just end at 11 hours. If we're not going to spot out any entry, we're just going to end at 11 hours. So this is the time for you guys to let's conversate, ask questions, let's talk about something productive. So aside from that, so this is what I'll be looking for on BTC and on gold. This is what I'm looking for. We just need to wait for the market to come to a point of interest. We don't need to chase the market. If it's not making sense, we have to stay away from it. The market will always create opportunities. The market will always create opportunities. So DXY, what are we having on DXY? What are we having on DXY? What are we having on DXY? DXY. Look at how DXY has been pushing. Choppy to the upside, right? It has been choppy to the upside. DXY has been moving choppy to the upside. DXY has been moving choppy to the upside. DXY has been moving choppy to the upside. Are you guys having any questions for me? So Lamek is saying if I want to use the fib, let me put up Lamek's. Okay. So Lamek is saying if I want to use fib levels, it's a must. I have to see a break of structure. A Fibonacci actually measures a retracement. You understand? A Fibonacci measures a correction. A Fibonacci retracement measures a retracement. This is why when you go to this tool, I'm actually using what is known as what a fib retracement. You understand, right? So what it means is that this Fibonacci is used for retracement. So when we are in an uptrend, this move here is known as a retracement. And when we're in a downtrend, this move is known as what? A retracement. So no one knows basically when a retracement is capable to end and where we can have an impulsive move. So this is known as an impulsive move, this is known as a correction or retracement, and this is known as an impulsive. So what I'm trying to say is that a Fibonacci retracement, like the tool that I'm currently using, it's known to measure when a possible retracement is going to end and when we're likely to have another impulsive move. So in order to measure when this move is likely to end, people or traders use various Fibonacci settings. You understand, right? These are not the only settings that are there. People or traders out there use various different coordinates according to what they are comfortable. Others they use 0.05, others use 0.618 or 50% and 0.618% Fibonacci. People use various Fibonacci levels, right? But according to me, I use what 0.71 and 0.79, and this is the area that I look for this retracement to just end. And the reason behind a Fibonacci, right, or the reason behind you buying and selling, you need to understand. The premium price and the discount price. You need to understand that. So once you get to understand the premium price and the discount price, you're going to understand the reason why we're using this fib. So if you want to understand more about why we're using this fib, make sure you subscribe for my private mentorship. Make sure you subscribe for my private mentorship. So someone is saying, how do you handle losses? Losses are, no one loves losing. I don't know about you, but I don't love losing. No one loves losing money, guys. Even Bill Gates, we don't love to lose money. So I feel like anyone that's going to say they handle losses in a good way is that they will just smile and say, shit, I've lost. we handle losses in a different way. Others, they do have tempers. Like me, if I lose, right? If I've lost, I remember I had this bad losing streak. I think that should be last year. Last year was really bad. The end of last year, I had a very bad losing streak. I almost lost confidence, right? In my setups. I actually abandoned my signal group. I just stayed back. I had back-to-back losses. Guys, I had back-to-back losses. I made, even right now, I'm still recovering back the money that I lost last year, end of last year, right? Some money. I had back-to-back losses. That's just the fact. And when you're in a losing streak, it actually messes with you really bad. It actually messes with you really, really, really bad. You see a setup, the market hits your stop loss. You send the signal number one, hits your stop loss, signal number two. So at that point, whenever the time I was going through that, I didn't really need to spend time around people because it's something that was really painful, right? No, like I said, no one loves losing money, so it's really painful when you lose money, and especially that you are in a continuous losing streak. It's really painful. So the best to do is that when you lose money, right? When you have a loss, or if you're in a losing streak, the best to do is avoid the charts for a while and just be in the background, backtest, see what. If you're having a losing streak, that simply means the market is changing conditions some points, right? So you need to sit down and ask yourself, where am I doing it all wrong? Because this is the strategy that I was using in January. So why is it that all of a sudden the market is not respecting, or why is it that it seems like it's not working in November? So just sit back, backtest, and see what conditions have actually changed in the market, right? So someone is saying, how many times did you backtest your strategy in order for you to be sure that it works? I think a week for me is all right. I mean, a strategy should not be complicated. A strategy should not be hard. For those that have stuck with me for the longest, you know that I've always been a price action trader. And the reason why I'm saying this is because a strategy should only be based on three things, right? A strategy should only be based on three things. One, it should show market structure. It should give you market direction. It should show you where the market is going. You understand, right? It should show you where the market is going. Secondly, it should show you where to enter from and where to close from, and when not to enter the market. Because a strategy that gives you an entry point and not giving you an exit point, then there's something wrong. You understand? A strategy should give you market structure, entry point, exit point, and as well as show you when not to enter a trade. So those are the only things that I look for when I'm looking to build a strategy or I'm looking to backtest a strategy. So if a strategy is not showing me market structure, or if it's trading against market structure, I'm not going to focus on that strategy. So someone is saying, how can I join your private mentorship? So you can just message me on WhatsApp and I'll send you the details to joining my my private mentorship. Why are you buying on the levels? So someone says, why are you buying on the levels on BTC if there was a clear sweep on top and not a break of structure? I don't understand. Why are you buying on those levels on BTC? Let's look at where's BTC. Is this some BTC? So if you're having a break of structure towards the upside, it simply means the market is looking to push higher. And what are you going to be looking? You're going to be looking for buying opportunities. And looking at the strategy that I use the Fibonacci to look for buying opportunities. So the reason why I'm looking for buying opportunities is because we're having a break of structure. Aside from the sweep, this sweep is only bringing down the market after collecting liquidity. It needs to breathe and then push to the upside. Straightforward. So that's the reason why I'm looking for buying opportunities. So if I was to get a break of structure below here, I would be looking for selling opportunities. Because this is a protected low and that's a protected high. So anything in between here, I'm good looking for buying opportunities. So someone is saying, what are the main confluences? Like I said, one, market structure. Second, Fibonacci. Third is what? Candlestick confirmations. So what is DXY telling us? I was looking at DXY, right? I was looking at DXY. What's wrong now? So someone is still debating and saying, but it's a sweep and not a break of structure. I think you're not following what I was explaining, right? I think you're not explaining what you're not understanding what I'm explaining. Otherwise, that's just for me. If you're saying anything different, always one thing that I always say is that always trust your own analysis. This is my view, right? This is what I'm looking for. So always make sure you also mark up your own view. You understand, right? The best teacher is when the market actually respects or disrespects your setup. So aside from Joshua's view, what's your view? Always make sure that when you are looking at someone's perspective, always also have your own understand to say, okay, I need to have my own, right? Because I'm having first buys on here and this second buys on here. So this is just for a watch up. I'm monitoring this area here for possible market buys. It's a possibility and not a must that the market's supposed to buy around this area. And this as well, it's a possibility that the market is going to react. And obviously, if we get good candlestick confirmations, I'm going to look for buying opportunities. So this is a possibility to monitor what's going to happen around this area. It's a possibility and not a must. You understand, right? It's a possibility. So what are we looking at when it comes to Euro USD? So looking at currency pairs, I'm not really focused on currency pairs much because, like I said, March has actually been very choppy. And honestly, I haven't been seeing any entries on currency pairs. If you are to look at this mess currently, the market has just been choppy and no clear momentum right now. The market isn't just giving us a clear momentum. So I'm not really focused on BTC or trading currency pairs at the moment because I'm not really getting the structure that I'm looking for. And this is one thing when it comes to trading. And this is one thing about when it comes to trading, right? If don't force a pair to move how you want it to move. Let the market structure lead and then follow market structure. It's always about market structure and it will always be about market structure. You understand, right? So if the market is not giving you a clear market structure, better off just avoid it. Don't focus on it. Don't waste. If I see such a market, I'm not going to waste my time. I'm not going to risk my money simply because no, I need to trade. I'm not going to risk my money in trading such a structure when I know very well that this is not making sense to me. You understand? This is not making sense to me. So I'm not going to waste my time in trying to understand to buy this. Some applies to the same thing. This chart is just consolidating, it's ranging. So it's not gonna make sense for me to focus on it because it's just ranging and all that. So let's take a look at silver. Let's take a look at silver. Okay, let's see this. So one thing you need to understand about silver is that silver and gold have got similar movements, right? So if silver is pushing to the upside, expect gold to push to the upside as well. If silver is pushing lower, you need to understand that gold is also going to push lower. What's this now? So, like I said, one thing about silver and gold is that they are actually very similar, right? They are very similar. So they've got similar moves. As a result, if silver is pushing to the upside, then gold is definitely going to push to the upside. But if silver is moving to the downside, that means you need to be also expecting gold to move to the downside. You need to expect. That's one thing that I've noticed. That's one thing I've noticed. So, what are we? Do you have any? Let's say commodities. Do you have any fundamentals on these things? So this was the fundamental for for today, and this was released an hour ago. So gold sticks to the modest gains above 4,550 as traders assess prospects of Iran a strong positive traction. So we can see that even the fundamental is actually very positive, right? The fundamental on gold, as it coming out, it's coming out positive. So gold gains strong positive traction. So yeah, we might just, and this was released an hour ago. A modest USD dollar pullback from the YDT peak. Reports suggest that Trump is open to ending the war without reopening the strain, whatever. I don't know. I don't know how you guys think about Trump. What are your thoughts about Trump? What are your thoughts about Trump? Honestly, I was expecting it to be different. Expecting it to be different when Trump was coming into power, right? Because on his previous office that he had, the market was alright. The market was booming. The market was beautiful. But this time around, what we're expecting when came into power and how the market is moving right, totally different. Just totally different. Just totally different. Totally different. So some people are saying how's BTC moving? Let's see how BTC is moving. This is 1 hour, 30 minutes. So no entry yet because this is a nice rejection that's happening, but not entry yet because we don't have a candlestick confirmation. So I might want to see confirmation from a 30 minutes candle and 1 hour candle, and then we might just use the 15 minutes for entry. So if this candle, I'll be simply looking for a 3-man candlestick. This is the first candle, second candle, third candle. If the third candle comes out to be bullish, we're gonna try some buys. Right? So let's see how this is 10:50. This is 10:51. So let's see. Oh my god. Let's see how the 11-hour candle opens. Let's see how the 11-hour candle opens, and let's see how the 30-minute candle. Yeah, and we might. So let's be on the watch, right? Let's be on the lookout. Let's be on the lookout. So, like I was saying, what are your thoughts about the market and Trump currently? We all are traders here, and we're actually 23 of us. We all know that whatever Trump does affects the market. So, what do you think about Trump? One thing you need to understand about Trump is that he's an investor and he's a trader. So, he understands exactly what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's doing. What do you guys think about Trump? So God sticks to the what am I trying to say? God sticks to the modest gains above 4,550, and this triggers to a corrective fall on oil prices. So this triggers corrective fall in oil prices and inflation fears weighing on the USD. Okay. So silver, what are we looking at? Silver, what fundamentals are you looking for? Silver prices forecast. Silver trades below 7,200. Bears return control below 100 days SMA. Silver attracts buyers for the third straight day. So this is something positive that could move silver to the upside, though it lacks bullish conviction. So as much as silver is attracting buyers, momentum is not that strong. Like it's still having the momentum for buyers is not really that strong, right? So it still needs to attract more buyers. The technical setup backs the case for the resumption. A sustained move above the 100-day is needed. Okay. So this is some positive news also on silver, right? So remember, we have got some positive news on gold and we have some positive news on silver as well. But the only thing on silver is that it lacks bullish conviction. There's little momentum to the upside, so it still needs to gain more momentum, or buyers needs to carry more momentum to push to the upside. So what else? I also check for CNBC as my news platform as well. So also look for CNBC just to look at what possible fundamental parts are we going to be expecting, right? So I also use CNBC just to check for the fundamental parts. One thing you need to understand about trading, and I know for a fact that you guys understand this about trading, right? Trading is beyond technical analysis. It's also fundamental analysis. So as much as you are looking to trade gold, what are the fundamentals backing up the buys? As much as you are looking for buys on BTC, are there any fundamentals that could back up the buys? Trump is performing. Honestly, needs to leave. Don't you do the sorts? The markets are bad. None of the pairs I trade are respecting my zone. Yeah, currency pairs are bad, right? This is what I'm saying. I'm excited to end March and start April, because if April could just be a proper April, we need to expect some good structures. So what are we? This fundamentals released 19 minutes ago. Gold on track for worst month since 2008 as Iran war enters its 5th week. So you can see that this war is literally affecting everything. So you just don't need to depend on your technicals. You need to as well as depend on you need to as well as also focus on the fundamental parts. You need to understand the fundamental part as well. So gold edged higher on a Tuesday morning, but metal remaining on course to notch the biggest monthly decline in almost 17 years. So we're having a bit of good news coming up, which is gold edged higher on Tuesday. Stock futures rise as oil prices ease after reports says Trump looking to end US oil. So let's check what's happening with oil. Let's check what's happening with oil. Let's check what's happening with oil. So oil, you can see that we have a break of structure here. So if we're having a break of structure, and if this is an impulsive, then we might expect a correction before another impulsive. So we might just expect some decline on oil. So we have a break of structure. This is on the 4-hour time frame, right? We have a break of structure on oil. One-hour time frame. And looking at oil, this side on the change percentage this digit, so a possibility of the market doing what, the market declining or the market just giving us some sales. So if oil is going to push up, just like what is happening here, just like what's happening here. So if oil prices can push lower, then we can expect to see some buy momentum in on silver and gold. So let's take a look at silver as well again. So we can see that silver as well is showing some buys because we broke structure here. We currently have a low and a high here. This is on the 1 hour time frame, right? So if we're having a break of structure, that means we're looking for buying opportunities. And if we're looking for buying opportunities, that means I'll be simply looking to buy in a discount price, right? So that means this is my zone, and I'll be looking to take my positions around this area. So like I said, I don't complicate my analysis. Like I said, I don't complicate my analysis. Market structure is the way forward for me to go. Fibonacci is the way forward for me to go. So if I'm having these two things right now, then I'm good to go. I just wait for the market to come back. So I'm not going to do anything on silver, because overall we can see that this is where I'll be looking to buy the market from. This is where I'll be looking to buy the market from. So we just need to keep an eye on what's happening here, what's happening on BTC. All right, so on BTC, 15 minutes, we have a very good first candle, second candle. Let's see if this third candle is going to close above. Then I'm going to enter the market. Let's see how this candle closes. So 30 minutes, we have a candle closing inside the zone. 1 hour, the candle is closing inside the zone. So let's see if the 15 minutes, if this candle is going to close above, then we're going to look for buying opportunities. Like that. Only if a candle closes above this region here. So we're still under observation, right? So the same thing that I've explained here is that I'm going to down there. So someone is saying, what's the best time frame to use the fib? So honestly, just depends on what you're looking for. Are you looking to scalp? Are you looking to day trade? So you need to understand the time frame coordination. You need to understand the time frame coordination. So Melody also says last year was also bad. I even lost confidence. I'm just regaining. Yeah, last year was really bad. Last year was really bad. Last year was really bad. And last year was really bad for me. I don't know about other traders, but last year was really bad for me. Yeah. Especially November, December, somewhere. Aish, man, the market was really bad. The market was really bad. It was really bad. It was really bad. So I'm still watching gold. On the currency pairs, I don't have any setup on the currency pairs. Lamek is saying, do you also trade USDT? I don't trade indices, right? I don't trade indices. I don't trade indices. I don't trade indices, but let's take a look. I used to trade indices a long time ago. That should be like 2 years ago. But I just stopped trading indices. I used to be a fan of Nasdaq, by the way. So looking at US30, we have a break of structure simply tells you that if you are having a break of structure towards the downside, this clearly tells you that sellers are present. If you're having a break of structure towards the downside, if the market keeps creating selling opportunities towards the downside, it simply tells you that sellers are present. You have got sellers' presence around this area here or around the structure. So what's the best to do is to move with the structure. The best to do is to do what to move with. What's the best thing to do? The best thing to do is to do what to. So we have a previous low and the protected high, which is this area here. And we have a new low, which is this particular area here. So looking like what I've said, if we're having a break of structure towards the downside, if we're having a break of structure towards the downside, that means we're good looking for what? Selling opportunities. So to drag this down, I'll have my selling opportunities around this area. I would have my sales around this area here. So what I'm looking for is to see the market and then confirmation candles that confirm that we are going lower, then look for that. So when you move into, we have a correction, impulsive correction. So on the correction part, the market is pushing higher to this zone. If I'm looking for buys, I might look for buys around this area here. But overall, looking at the 4-hour time frame structure, we have basically means that the market is attracting sellers because we're in a downtrend. I think same should apply with Nasdaq. So Nasdaq or US 100, we have a break of structure as well. We have a high, and we have a current low at this area here. And not even going further, we have a sweep of internal structure here, which is that I'm going to put it as an X. So if I was to swing my, I'm going to have my sell zone area around this point here. If I move lower to a lower time frame, we're likely to see that the market is about to change character of an internal structure so that we can push to this upside. So if we get to break above this high, then this will be a change of character internally. Wait, does that even exist? On an internal structure, right? If the market breaks above this high, that means we're looking for a change of character and the market is likely to reverse to come to the sell zone. Then I'll be looking for certain opportunities. Like I said, I normally don't even focus on US 100 or US 30 because I don't trade this pair. So on my view, I'll just say that the market is bearish, is in a bearish structure, and the market is currently looking forward to be in a corrective before another impulsive. And same applies to US 30. The market is currently in a downtrend because we've got the new low. So we're currently in a corrective phase before we can see another impulsive phase. So 4-hour time frame candle on the BTC looks to be very strong, bearishly. So I doubt if this could still hold. I doubt if this can hold. But overall, this is my golden zone that I'll be looking to buy from. But we're still watching, right? We're still watching. We're still watching how the market is going to react. We're still watching, so we're still going to keep an eye on BTC, gold as well. Still watching gold, silver. What's this? US oil. So normally I only have two on my watch list. That's gold and BTC, unless there are other questions. But what's the time? This is 11, so we're supposed to start wrapping up. It has been 2 hours already. I don't know if it's 3 hours right now. So it's been 2 hours already from the time we started. So this is my watch list for today. I'm watching BTC and as well as watching gold. So as we are wrapping up, anything that you guys would love to ask, anything that you guys would love not to look at, because I'm about to wrap up. I need to have my breakfast. So those are the two things that I'm actually looking at. So make sure you join my Telegram community if you're not in my Telegram community. Make sure you are trading with the best broker around. Make sure you're trading with Exness. Make sure you're following me on YouTube. So like this live, like the live, guys. Like the live. 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 Leave some fire emojis. Leave some fire emojis. Leave some fire emojis. W's in the chat. Let me see the W's in the chat. You know, I just heard this from a certain streamer. All right, what does W's in the chat mean? What do you think W's in the chat mean? What do you think W's in the chat mean? What do you think W's in the chat mean? So W's in the chat, right? Winners in the chat. W's in the chat. So let me see you comment W's in the chat. W's in the chat, right? Let me see you comment W's in the chat. So like I said, this might not hold, but we're still looking for it, right? This might just be liquidity. Then we might tap into the zone and look for buying opportunities. So let me see your W's in the chat. So like I said, I'm not really having so much on my list. Currency pairs, I'm not focusing on them right now because the market is choppy. So I've avoided currency pairs right now. So I'm only having gold and BTC. And as you all know, when trading gold, you need to be very cautious that it's volatile. So always make sure you apply proper gold risk management, right? Today it's a Tuesday. And for me, one thing about me is that I'll always be on the chat. I'll always be on the chat. So I already have my setups that I'm looking for, but that didn't make me to stop looking at any other pair or YouTube video on trading or try to backtest here and there. So if you want to know Forex in and out, let it be. And how is it going to be part of you? Never let a day pass without you. Don't let a day pass without you trying to explore or learn something new. So learn about market structure. Like I always say, learn market. Let me do this. How many subscribed to my YouTube channel here? How many are subscribed to my YouTube? How many are subscribed to my YouTube channel? How many subscribed to my YouTube channel? So I would love you guys to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll be going live, sharing one or two things on the market. So obviously the next this is a friend of mine, and he's actually doing to connect. So I would love you guys to be part of that Zoom, not a Zoom, but to be alive. So I'll let you guys who that is becoming bad. So to end or to wrap up this live, thank you guys for joining. Like I said, this you have to close chats. Just be active on the chats. Support and resistance. Length. So see you guys in the group. As for now, this is where I get to wrap it up. Let me just have my breakfast, and I'll see you guys in the group as well. So W's in the chat. Let's keep on winning. Let's keep on. Let's keep the same energy. See you in the group, guys. Otherwise, have a great and blessed day ahead.